Well, hello everybody. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me again today. It's a beautiful day here in Lower Alabama, although we're going to be really hot for a couple of days. It's supposed to be above 90 the next 2 days, but then we're going to cool off a little bit for the weekend. Getting things done today. I wanted to go ahead and get this video done this morning. I think I'm going to go to the gym here in a little bit. I got a closing this afternoon. I sold one of my dad's properties. Not a lot of money. Not a lot of money at all, but a little bit of breathing room, so that's nice. So I got to go meet with the lawyers this afternoon and just wanted to go ahead and do this video. As you can see, I'm calling raw vegans and fruitarians and just want to see if anybody wants to go to Costa Rica. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now. Click on the little bell and check send notifications so you will stay subscribed to the channel. You might want to check on that as well, even if you're not subscribing today or in the past, because people seem to be getting unsubscribed from YouTube channels a little bit again these days. But yeah, I was just sitting around the last few days thinking it's been a little bit more than a month now since the Woodstock Fruit Festival. It's been a little bit more than 2 months since I've been back in the States, and I'm getting a little bit restless. Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have a good gym to go to. It's been very nice, you know, hanging out with my mom some. She's getting older. She'll be 87 years old here pretty soon. So it's all good. It's not like I'm like, oh my God, I'm miserable up here. It is what it is, and I've been enjoying myself. I'm going to meet with some friends in a couple of weeks. Down in Destin, Florida, and we're going to spend a few days together. There's like a raw vegan food truck down in that area, so it's going to be fun. But I wanted to just see, you know, I don't know. People are always asking me, so you're not going back to Costa Rica? You never know, because you don't know how many people have watched how many of your videos, so they don't know the whole story. They don't know. They just hear you were in Costa Rica, you're not in Costa Rica, what's going on? I don't have plans to move back there anytime in the near future. I'm working on some things here. You know, I'm helping my mom a little bit, but I wouldn't mind like making some little junket trips back. So I started thinking, like, you know, maybe there's some people out there that would be interested in me putting together a trip down to Costa Rica. Now let me start off by saying, number one, because I remember one time I said something about Costa Rica and somebody got real offended because, well, why only raw vegans or fruitarians or whatever? You know, there's somebody out there that's going to get their nose out of joint no matter what. They just go through life like that. So let me just say, like, if you're not necessarily a raw vegan or a fruitarian, but if you wanted to go down and eat like we're going to probably eat, you're more than welcome. You know, I'm not going to hold you. Not going to not let you go because you don't fall into a certain label, but we're going to go mainly to eat fruit. A couple of things here I say may offend people. Oh well, people get offended. First off, how to say the most delicate way possible. I'm not looking for broke people that are wishing past realism or past reality. I've traveled for a number of years, and God bless them, you do have to love them, but there's always the people that travel to some destination and they don't quite have the money to go there. And they're not, and you can kind of tell they're making the best out of it, but they're not, and there is a level. Don't get me wrong, I'm not traveling pimp style, you know, staying in 5-star hotels and whatever, but there is that, like, if you're below a certain budget, you're just not going to have as much fun. You're not going to be able to participate. You're not going to be able to do very much, and it's just not very realistic. Now, what I'm looking to put together maybe, or I just got, like I say, this is exploratory to see what people are interested in. Now, what I'm putting together, like I say, isn't going to be expensive 5-star fancy accommodations, but it's also not going to be, and I've had that before when I lived in Costa Rica, no, there's not going to be a place you can just throw a sleeping bag on the ground. If you can't pay for the bed, or if you can't, you know, kind of fit into this budget, you know, hunker down, work, save, go when you have a little bit more, have more means. But yeah, no, this isn't the one where, no, there's not going to be space there for you to throw up a tent and not take a shower for 12 days. It's going to be somewhat of a, it's a minimalist trip. In fact, I've got a couple of spots in mind as I'm talking about this. It's a minimalist trip, but not a minimalist trip. There'll be beds, I stayed in this, listen, one other thing too, and then I'll kind of talk about what I would like to do if that people were interested. It's also not going to be like this super touristy trip. So if you're like one of those people that likes everything, you know, kind of planned, and you want to do all the touristy mainstream type stuff, things you may have read about Costa Rica before, this might not be for you, because this is a trip that I want to plug back into that raw vegan fruitarian community type feel, and people that just want to feel that maybe for a week, 2 weeks, however long we decide to go. No, this isn't going to be where everything's planned and we're going to go see this attraction and that attraction. I've got a couple of particular areas in mind to maybe go to, and this is about fruit. This is about eating really good fruit. This is about eating good food. This is about kind of, you know, seeing it from the perspective of people like us. Now, one area I'm thinking about going to, 2 years ago, right, this same month, right at almost 2 years ago, September of 2015, if you're interested to go back into some of my videos and look around that time, you know, actually I'm going to post a link down below. I went down to this little area called Platanillo. There's two communities, Platanillo, Tinamaste. Now, Tinamaste, in my opinion, that's an area where some of the best food in Costa Rica is coming from. The soil is just crazy mineral rich down there. I had chocolate sapote. I know they're growing durian down there for all you durian lovers. There's mame sapote there. There's jackfruit in abundance. One thing it's funny the things you miss when you don't have them anymore. Now, I didn't diss papaya. I actually got to where I love papaya, but papaya was just a secondary fruit to me. I'm sitting around yesterday thinking, man, how much I would love a papaya right now. Pineapple. I've had next to no pineapple since I've been gone from Costa Rica. And all of these fruits were just spectacular down there. Biriba, Rolina, just amazing fruit down there. The Tinamaste farmers market is a small one. It's all organic and it's amazing, has some absolutely amazing stuff. But a bigger market that's also in that area is the San Isidro farmers market. You can search these in YouTube, and not just my videos, and things will come up. If you search Tinamaste market, San Isidro market, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about here. But yeah, so basically what I did was, and I went in rainy season, and please I don't want to, like, if you're into worrying about if it's going to rain or not, Costa Rica in general, you never know at certain times of the year. You know, I've generally, after living there for 18 years, I didn't really ever experience too many, like maybe one monsoon type season the whole time where it's just raining all the time. But could be rain, might not. In this particular area, there are a number of nice waterfalls. There's one that's within distance of there that's this really spectacular, I forget the exact name, the spelling, whatever, Nayaka waterfall. So there's that kind of stuff. So what we would be doing is we'd be eating a lot of fruit. I would have space, you know. I don't necessarily, depending on how you want to keep the pricing now. Like we could try to work some yoga in there. We could try to get a yoga teacher to go. Maybe a yoga teacher is interested. There'd definitely be some movement in some ways. We'd get some hikes going. We'd just do some cool stuff. We'd probably try to figure out how to have a music system there. Maybe do a little dancing at night under the moon. Get into a little electronic music, a little bit of trance, a little bit of kirtan music, whatever people are interested in. It would be a really laid back trip, but I would do like I say, after we kind of talked about it a little bit, figured out what we were doing, I'd do my best to know what was available in that area, and we could plan accordingly. And that's why I'm saying also, I'm not really looking for people that are too bare bone budget, but like I say, this wouldn't be expensive, but I just want to keep the possibilities open because this is a little bit more remote of an area. So transportation will have to be factored in there, but it's worth it to go to this, for our people to go to this particular area of Costa Rica if it's about the food. Now, as I say that, I don't want to go overboard on the food and make you think, well, it's going to be all food, but there's not going to be a whole lot of other fun stuff. Oh my gosh, no, I had an amazing time while I was there. Just, you know, connecting with nature. I mean, I basically had a little bungalow in the jungle, a little wooden shack, although comfortable. I was at altitude, so I slept very cool at night. In fact, it was chilly at night. But man, I had this little porch on the back with a hammock, and I had this beautiful bamboo forest, and I just laid out on that deck and soaked up that bamboo all the time. and listen to the cicadas and the toucans, and it was just so peaceful there. But like I say, there's hikes to waterfalls. We would definitely be able to hit a couple of farmers market in this particular area. Like I say, I don't have something defined yet, but I would like to take a group to this area. And I have a couple of scouts. Well, I have one scout down there right now that could possibly, you know, kind of help me out a little bit with this. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to explore the possibilities on this. Now, one thing too, it doesn't have to be totally remote. The area that I'm talking about is one reason I really liked this area, and I could see I actually am kind of being pulled to this area to settle when I go back to Costa Rica, is okay, where I was, this little place called Platanillo, I was up at about 3,500 feet. So it was never super hot during the day there. You barely broke a sweat, but you could lay out and get sun. It's big. It was a big property I had all to myself, so I'd get out sun in the day. But at night it would be chilly, and you didn't need air conditioning. You slept under covers with fresh air. It was beautiful. Now, when you want the heat, when you want the beach, when you want that hardcore sun, there's a little surf beach. Any hardcore surfers would probably know it. It's called Playa Dominical. It's a heavy beach break, which is only, you get in a car and you're in Dominical in 15 minutes at the beach, hot, 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 hot. So you go to the beach for the day, you surf, you swim, you get sun, you get hot on the beach, you sweat. End of the day, you get in your car, you go back up to your nice little natural air-conditioned climate and sleep nice and cool for the night. So anyhow, man, I'd love to take some people back down there and you know, eat some fruit and whatever. I'm not a group leader, so once again, I want to stress that I'm not going to be just slack, and I'm not going to make it just okay, whatever. I will set down, you know, I'll set up some things for us to do. I'll work on the transportation, but don't look for the tour guide, and don't look for like an itinerary where, okay, today's itinerary, we do this at 7, this at 9, this at 1. Ain't me, if you haven't figured that out by now, but it will be a lot of fun. So anyhow, if anybody's interested, maybe mention it in the comments below. I'm not sure timing on this. It's open, and who knows, if there was enough people interested, I might go back down there regularly and take some people down. But we are in Costa Rica's in it. It's hard for people to just plan on the spur of the moment. Now, I will say, if people could get it together early, like December, the first half of the month of December is not a bad time to travel, because usually, notice I said usually, by December, the rainy season is about over. The rain has mostly stopped, but the tourist season hasn't gotten there yet. The tourist season will hit around Christmas, a little bit after Christmas. So prices are still good. There's not a lot of crowds, which is not a huge thing in the big picture of it once you're there, because this area that we would be going to is not as touristy a part, but I know flights are cheaper in the off season. So it would be pushing it a little bit, but could probably plan something for the first half of December, or we could do something in the coming year, the early months of the coming year. Yeah, the tickets are going to be a little bit more, and there's more crowd to deal with, but in the area I want to go to, this season, high season, low season is not as big a thing. So anyhow, like I say, this is just an exploratory video to see if there's any interest out there. If there's any interest, let me know. To people that if I said, okay, this ain't gonna be, if you don't have the money, sorry. Anybody though, I'm always very happy to share information on Costa Rica. Costa Rica is not the greatest place in the world. It's possible, especially if you know people with property, to just go kind of bum around and camp like in other places, and just like go with a sleeping bag to sleep on the floor. But there are hostels, there are cheaper accommodations, and yeah, like I say, even if you're not able to go with me, or you're not wanting to do this type of a trip, always happy to share information. So anyhow, let me know in the comments below, or you can send me a message or whatever if you might be interested in doing this. So Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please share this one, because you never know. You never know. Share this one to some of your fruity friends, or share it in your groups. Share it in your vegan groups, your raw vegan groups, just anywhere you might think people might be interested in taking a taking a trip with like-minded people to Costa Rica. So anyhow, hope you guys have a great day, and I'm off to the gym here soon. Peace.